right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich Celenza. Thanks for checking out my channel. So what I want to get into today is dress vests. I think I'm going to call it actually Test the Vest. So if you're looking for another look within your wardrobe, you might consider the vest. Now, I grew up where, for the most part, or at least the way I perceived it, most vests that were worn were under a tuxedo or under a suit, three-piece suit. You had, the coat, the vest, the pants, the dress shirt, whatever. And a lot of times when I seen people wearing a vest, it was kind of a server. It was kind of a waiter, maitre d' kind of in that area, or somebody that, hospitality, let's just say. They either had a sport coat on, they took it off, they had the vest there, and they kind of worked with the vest. Sometimes maybe even accountants, people in the mortgage business, whatever. They just, they had a vest, but it wasn't stylized, I guess you could say. They kind of were just standard to me. But like, I want to say 11, 12 years ago, my buddy I went shopping with, and I think we're at Neiman Marcus Last Call, I think. And he was talking about dressing up and starting to wear a vest. And I'm like, wow, that's whack. I'm just not down with that. And I was all aggravated. At that point in time, I was exhausted from fashion, to be honest with you. I was sick of sport coats. I was kind of sick of everything, to be honest with you. I was sick of suits. I was sick of casual wear. I didn't want to go Tommy Bahama. I had weight fluctuating. I was bouncing between 200 and 250, so I was all over the place, let's put it that way. But I was starting to lose weight. I was down to probably 220, let's say, 210, 220-ish. And he brought some vests, and he put them on. I was with him, and I'm like, wow, that looks pretty good on him. I was shocked, because they were just really, they fit him well. And he wasn't the most, he doesn't have the greatest body, but it was good enough, but it really tapered him, made him look like he had wider shoulders. I liked the way the sleeves looked, like a long sleeve shirt. It just really accented him. And he got, I forgot what colors he got, but they were really slick. And I said, this doesn't look like, a server at all. And so to make a long story short, he had him for a while, and then I was going out for a Thanksgiving dinner at a fine dining restaurant, and I didn't know what to wear. Again, I was sick of sport coats, everything else. I had this beautiful purple shirt, and he goes, dude, put one of my vests on. And I'm like, oh, what the hell? Try my vest on, and I lost weight. I put it on, and I did like the way I look. And then we took a photo of me there, and it's, I think, the first photo I have in Facebook. And it was really the first photo I seen of myself being that thin, which is around 200 pounds, maybe less. And with a vest on, and it was, I think everybody was shocked, and I was too, the way I looked in it. Not because I looked great, because I lost weight, and it really made my waist for the first time in, 20 years, look tapered. I always kind of had decent shoulders and a decent chest and back. I was already tapered that way, but the vest really accented it. And it worked. It really worked for me. And if I would have never tested the vest, I don't think, I would have ever went that way. And if he never purchased them, I would have never thought about that. Because still to this day, I walk around big box stores, malls, boutiques, everything, and I see a lot of vests. They look boring to me a lot of times on the hanger. And that's maybe to you as well if you haven't worn a vest ever. Let's say you're younger, whatever the case, or you just maybe have worn one, but it was under a suit again or under a tux. You never wore one with, say, like a pair of jeans or a pair of dress pants. What I started to love about the vest was, what I did was, one is I started to wear them under my leather coat when I traveled, or just sport coats too. Because a lot of times, you take your sport coat off and your shirt looks messy as shit, right? Or you could have a dress shirt on, you could be wearing a leather coat, any type of coat. You take it off, your shirt just is wrinkled throughout the day. It could have even gotten dirty, whatever the case may be. When I started to wear the vest over my shirts, not just white ones, other colors, it kind of hides a lot of that. So when I took my coat off, it looked really stylized, and it still like gave me the freedom. It wasn't like I was always in a suit. A lot of times with a suit or a sport coat, you just don't have that freedom. Now, I know a lot of times even guys, when they go to weddings, and you've probably seen it, you're wearing the coats, they take it off to dance so they can move and stuff. Usually if I start off at a sport coat, I don't like to take it off if it's a gala or a wedding or anything like that. What's that expression my uncle used to say? A true gentleman never takes off his coat, or something like that. So it was programmed in me. But then when I was just telling you, I could be going to dinner or other places if it got too hot, or say you want to eat outside and I had a sport coat and a vest on. I took it off, I still looked pretty dressed up, is what I'm trying to say. So if you're somebody out there who's like, you know, you're kind of sick of all this shit, you don't want to wear a sport coat, you're kind of sick of the way you look in a regular long sleeve shirt or any shirt, put on a vest. And here's the other thing. You don't have to even buy these damn things new at the beginning. Test them out. You could go to Goodwill, consignment, resale stores. You're probably, if you watch any of my videos, you may be sick of hearing me say this. But you can get these vests for $9.99 up to $19.99. A lot of them are even brand new. And a lot of times, if you even go to, like, say, a Burlington Coat Factory, I've been mentioning them a lot, I have no idea why in my videos, but they there's one next to my gym, or a Ross, Marshall's, TJ Maxx, maybe TJ, I'm not sure. Those stores have vests for sale. They even have, like, Calvin Klein. You might find a Michael Kors. If you go to, like, a Macy's, hypothetically, a Nordstrom's, a Bloomingdale's, sometimes they're on the higher side. It could even be Sears, for instance. Sometimes the vests can go up and you don't want to pay that much money. You don't need to at the beginning. They just went out of business, actually. I was just going to say Steinmart, too, had some really great deal on vests. Try them out. Also, a lot of vests that I found were cool is sometimes they're patterns. And I know I discussed just starting off with this, but if you start to like different patterns, I ended up finding, especially vintage vests. Now, not vintage where it looks like, I'd hate to say it, like an older man wore it in the 60s or 70s or something in that nature, but something that has some really unique patterns to them. I think I got a Tommy Hilfiger or that really was really just unique, like a Burberry one too. And I find these vests that I put on, and I would say out of all the pieces I wear, pocket scarves, but a lot of people talk about the vest. They love the way the vest looks. It's unique, especially, again, but I find the patterns, even if it's a Christmas pattern, but I'm not saying a Christmas look, but it'll be like a red velour, very rich looking, something that just really stands out. It looks very polished with like black pants and a boot. And then you can roll the sleeves up sometimes like this. Even if you're in a business meeting, sometimes, again, you may just want to wear a regular coat. You walk in there and take it off, and your vest just pops, and it just looks great. And it's just a game changer, I think, a lot of times. Now, if you're also overweight a little bit, I'm going to tell you, and I've been there up and down, even if you're overweight, you can look, when you're standing especially, much thinner. Okay, and I think you may have seen that with a lot of servers. But when you sit down, make sure then it's not too tight. But if you're looking for a vest sometimes to kind of cover up a lot of flaws, it does a really good job, because I think sometimes a jacket, as much as it may kind of cover some flaws, it also exposes a lot of flaws, especially if you're heavy in the arms or overweight or in certain areas, because you can't even move in it, and believe me, people could see it. Where kind of a vest, again, if you're a little overweight, tapers you a little, and you still have a little freedom, if that makes sense. So, what else? I had some other information regarding the vest, but I think I basically summed it up. But definitely worth trying, testing it out. I don't care what age you are. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I think it does. So, anyways, I'm going to wrap it up there. If you want to know more about who I am, you could go to richcelenza.com. Also, if you get a chance, subscribe. I have a lot of different things I work on out there. I have a book, Wingman. I have a Mastering Self-Confidence program. I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm trying to really help men of all ages, especially young people, save money and live an extraordinary life affordably. Because I think a lot of people think that it takes all this money and to look a certain way or live a certain lifestyle, which of course it does, just depending. But you can also look great and do a lot of amazing things, even if you're not making a ton of money. Especially with clothing, wardrobe, or accessories, things like that. There's nothing wrong. If you have the money, you can buy whatever the hell you want. But if you don't have a lot of money, there's definitely ways to look great and just save money at the same time. All right? And take that money, like I always say, go spend it on other things you like to do. All right? And again, I've discussed this before in my videos. You may want to figure out what weight you truly want to be at before building up any type of wardrobe, because if you do plan on gaining 10, 15 pounds or losing 20 or 30 pounds, let's not start spending money on clothes now, because most likely those clothes ain't gonna fit you. So you gotta think about that as well, all right? All right, what else? I think I wrapped it up. All right, take care, and I wish you nothing but the best.